welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 battle report here at Slider Games. Today, the Tau and the Imperial Guard are fighting over this city space. It's 1,000 points, Tempest of War. 1,000 points because there are no troops in this list. So with Arcs of Omen, you don't have to make a list with troops, so we decided we'd try it out with 0 troops. So should be interesting. We've got direct assault for our mission. You score the traditional, 5 points for controlling 1, for 2, or for more than your opponent. But then in every battle round, you get 2 or 3 points, depending on if you get one or both of these achieved. They control at least one objective marker that they did not control at the start of their turn, or you destroy a unit, an enemy unit that was in range of an objective marker. And then we've got classic hammer and anvil. So one army on this side fighting over these objectives. We actually did it pretty symmetrically. There's one here in this deployment zone, 3 basically right across the middle, with this one being very exposed, and then one back here near these crates. And in control of the guard, Cadian Sergeant Steele is here with an all-armored list.
Nothing but tanks.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I tried to reciprocate there with my list. I do technically have 2 infantry models. Well, I brought 2 broadsides, but they're slow and bulky, so I feel like they kind of count for what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, this is going to be a wild game.
I mean, yeah, this could literally end in like turn 2. There aren't very many units for either side, so and we've got some big guns, so who knows? It should be interesting. There's a lot of line of sight blocking. We do have some long lines, but there's, like, as you can see, if you can stay out of those lines, there is a lot of line of sight blocking. And that was kind of the point when I built it. I knew this would be, kind of a non-traditional thing. So there's no light cover. I guess technically, if you end up on top of a building somehow, but most of our stuff doesn't have the infantry keyword, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, all of this is just so it's more about, strategic movement. Like, I come into this lane to shoot down, but now I'm exposed, so you have to make those kind of choices. That's the idea. So we'll see. We might just blow each other up in the first turn and then have 1 or 2 units running around trying to score points for the rest of the game.
That's true.
Yeah. Anything could happen. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, let's look at the armies. This is exactly 1,000 points of my custom Tau Sept Su'nars. As you can see, no troops out there at all, and the reason I wanted to do this, and I asked Cadian Sergeant Steele if he would be cool with doing a mission with no troops, on there at all, is just so we can try out new things that you don't normally see, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Like, I've never taken tactical drones in 9th edition, so I've got 3 squads of tactical drones to fly around and do stuff. Each one has, well, not each one, but this one has 1 marker drone, 1 shield drone, and 2 gun drones. This one has 1 marker drone, 1 gun drone, and 2 shield drones. Basically, points is why they're kind of weird. But I wanted a couple markers and then 1 squad of just 4 gun drones. I figured this one I could maybe deep strike in to get on an objective, or they can just fly in to help support the battlesuits because we do have the Savior Protocols stratagem. But in charge today is our tank ace. This is long strike technically, but in Su'nars he's just a nameless tank ace. He does have the ion cannon and smart missiles. I did not give him his warlord trait because it only affects core units, which there are none in the list. So no CP spent on warlord traits or relics for us. Then we have 2 units of broadsides, one with heavy rail rifle, smart missiles, 2 shield drones, and stabilizing optics. Same setup with this guy, except the high yield missile pod rather than the heavy rail rifle. Then we have a regular hammerhead in the back. He's got the rail rifle, or the railgun, and smart missiles, and then finally a Riptide with a heavy burst cannon. I did give him the counterfire defense system for the stratagem that can reduce damage to 1, so that could be handy in this. He does also have a target lock, which won't matter. It ignores light cover, which won't be an issue in this one, and early warning override. So if anything does charge him, he can overwatch basically for free, and he'll hit on 5s. But this is my non-traditional 1,000 point no troops list. Let's see. So should be interesting. We'll see how long it can survive against the Imperial Guard. This is exactly 1,000 points of the Cadian 707th. What's going on?
All right, so we brought an all-armored Arcs of Omen detachment today. Leading us, we have a tank commander with the Gatekeeper Relic Battle Cannon, a heavy bolter, and 2 heavy flamers. This is also upgraded with armored tracks and has Knight of Piety, giving me a 5-up invuln save and a 5-up feel no pain. And they have taken the Warlord trait Master Tactician, which allows me to redeploy up to 3 units on the table.
That's going to be big in this one.
Yep. We have another tank commander. This one has Demolisher Cannon, Last Cannon, and 2 heavy flamers. We have a Leman Russ with a Punisher Cannon, heavy bolter, 2 heavy flamers. We have another Leman Russ with a Vanquisher Cannon, Last Cannon, 2 multi-meltas.
Yeah.
So we have a variety of Leman Russes available to us. Then we have the Basilisk with a heavy bolter and its Earthshaker Cannon. But we actually have yours 2 units of Scout Sentinels. So I got one of the new models, and that's in its own independent unit.
Love it.
They're all armed the same, though. All multi-lasers. No hunter-killer missiles or other upgrades. But these 2 are squadron together. So that is my list today. It is going to be a wild ride. Oh, I guess to add to that, my regimental traits are not born soldiers today.
Yeah.
So I have taken Armored Superiority. So everything except for the Scouts count as 5 models for objective secured. And then the Sentinels count as 3 each.
Yeah.
They don't gain OBSEC. It's just when we go to count who has control of the objective.
Yeah, so each Leman Russ will count as 5 models near an objective. Sentinels will count as 3. They don't get OBSEC technically, but nobody has any OBSEC, so they just will outnumber things. I would need 5 models on an objective to just, dispute it with the Leman Russ. So.
And neither of us have a plethora of models in this game, so that ought to be advantageous.
Yeah.
The other thing they have is heirloom weapons, so I get an additional 4-inch range to all of my weapons. So 16-inch flamers and 28-inch demolisher cannons.
Yeah.
So that should be helpful in this urban combat we have.
Should be very cool. And all of the Leman Russes have armor tracks except the Vanquisher, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Except for I ran out of points.
Yeah.
So everything but the Vanquisher has armored tracks.
Yes. Oh, man. And this is the new Sentinel model. I actually really like it. Whenever I saw pictures of it before, I wasn't that impressed. But seeing it up close and in person and painted to such a beautiful, high quality, it looks pretty awesome, actually. I really like it.
Oh,
but anyway, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Let's go look at deployment. Deployment has concluded for the moment. Anyway, so for Tau, I do have my squad of 1 shield drone, a marker drone, and 2 gun drones, and my high yield missile pod broadside in reserve. The drones are in man to hold, so deep strike. The broadside is in strategic reserves because that is free now in Arcs of Omen. But we've basically deployed. We've got this straight line, so nothing can see them, and yeah, broadside on this flank, riptide on this flank, hammerheads, and the marker light drone squad up here. These are the gun drones back here with the riptide for savior protocol purposes, basically. But yeah, I deployed extremely defensively so that I couldn't be seen. I do have one advantage in this, in that my tanks and my riptide can fly. So I can move up and over buildings to get line of sight, where all the Leman Russ's other Imperial Guard stuff have to move around the buildings. So that's going to be kind of my one mobility advantage. But as soon as anything gets out in a spot where it can see to shoot, it will be shot at. So going first, I'm not sure will be much of an advantage, because this is the deployment right now for the Cadians. But what's the plan here, Cadian Sergeant Steele?
Well, so here's what we've done. I've gone hyper aggressive in case I do get turn 1.
Yep.
Both groups of Sentinels are outside our deployment zone.
Yep.
And then I've lined everything up the best I can to try to match up against what I think's happening here. Demolisher cannons, middle of the table to try to threaten anything that comes into here. My long range guns are over here to try to threaten the Riptide when it exposes itself. So we've got a really strong deployment. We have no backfield defense. So if your reserves, your deep strike is able to come in behind us, right now we have no counter.
Yeah, I've got some drones that could come in to steal objectives maybe, or do a silly charge into a basilisk or something to stop it from shooting. But Yeah, it's going to be. But your advantage is
Yep.
your Warlord trait, which lets you redeploy up to 3 units.
3 units. So we could see all of my Scout Sentinels
Yeah.
disappear. We could see my Leman Russes go into strategic reserves just for free.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, yeah, when they redeploy, it's not just they can move on the battlefield, which they can, but they can also go into strategic reserve. So that's going to be a big one. Because even if I move, if I go first, I may be able to get some shots off, but anything that moves will be extremely exposed. And as it stands right now, I'm not really in a position to get any objectives. Whereas these Sentinels, they can rush up to this objective over here. This one's already on an objective, so the Cadians definitely have the advantage as far as scoring points early. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. But that being said, the redeployment is decided after first turn is decided. So we need to roll off and see who gets to go first. And then, based on that, this whole deployment might change for the Cadians. So let's see. I'll let you roll first, sir.
Here we go. All right.
That's a 6. So that's as good as it gets. I don't necessarily want to go first, so
That's a 5.
that's a 5. Okay, so the Cadians are first. We'll redeploy those and come back with the objectives for the Cadians in Battle Round 1. The tank commander has issued her orders, and they're all good ones. Battlefield supremacy, control 3 or more objective markers, and control more than the opponent. He's already on 2, and 1 sentinel unit can move to the 3rd, so that's definitely achievable. Secure no man's land. Same thing if that scout sentinel unit moves onto that other objective. That's another 5 points. And then extend battle lines. Control your home objective and at least 1 in no man's land. So all 3 of those. This one is literally already scoring even if he doesn't move. So 15 points pretty much assured for the Cadians in turn 1. We have concluded the movement for the Cadians. The tank commander with the Relic and Warlord trait stayed on the battlefield. The other 3 Leman Russes went into strategic reserve. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. The Basilisk stayed still. She advanced forward onto this objective here. This guy, what's the order he got?
Full throttle.
Full throttle. So that gives him an extra 2 inches to his move, plus he can advance, and it's as if he stayed still. So he moved 17 inches, got up onto this objective, and does have line of sight into my backfield here. And then the other 2 Sentinels moved up onto that objective. So that's 2 points. Well, actually, this is as well. 2 points for the primaries for controlling an objective you didn't control. Plus, you're in a position, you're going to score all 15 points on your secondary. So this is going to be a 17-point turn for the Cadians before they even shoot anything. That's pretty good. And they're controlling 4 objectives. And I'm pushed all the way back into my starting zone. So yeah, good stuff from the Cadians. Let's see what they can shoot. First thing to shoot is this Scout Sentinel into the drone unit right here.
Here we go. 4 multi-laser shots, heading on 4s.
Okay,
Wow.
that was fortunate for the drones. Very fortunate.
Wow, that was really bad. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 command point.
Yes.
For Maverick maneuvers. I get to move that Scout Sentinel 6 inches.
Oh, okay.
After it fired.
Nice. The broadside is the next target. He's being shot by the Basilisk over here, so with the Earthshaker cannon.
Yep.
Hitting on 5s because it's out of line of sight.
Yep. And you get +1 to your save. But here we go. D6 + 3. Oh, it was on a 6. Okay, so I get 5 shots. Not bad. Hitting on 5s. No rerolls of any kind.
We got one hit.
1 hit. Yeah.
T5, but strength 10, right?
So
Yeah.
2s.
Does wound.
Okay.
I'll try to take it on a shield drone, so 4 up, invulnerable save.
Got
it. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
That is the end of the turn for the Cadians. They do get 17 points, 2 for controlling objectives that they didn't control at the beginning of the battle round. And then they get battlefield supremacy for holding 3 or more. What else did you have? Secure no man's land. You hold 2 in no man's land. And then what was the
Extend
battle lines? Yeah, so control your home objective and at least 1 in no man's land. So 17-point turn. No damage done, but I think you'll probably take a 17-point lead as we go into the Tau objectives. Our tank ace has issued his orders. Not that great, actually. Behind enemy lines, I have to get 2 units within the enemy deployment zone. That will be difficult. Impossible on this turn, obviously. Battlefield supremacy, this will also be very difficult to get 3 objectives, but I can work towards that. deploy teleport Homer. This one is virtually impossible. I mean, I could deep strike some drones and try to get this. But yeah, I may end up dropping this and probably behind enemy lines as well at the end of the turn. But let's go into movement. Su'nars movement has concluded. We did go with Montcalm this time. I don't know if I mentioned that, but so we can advance, and it's as if we have remained stationary. So both hammerheads and the broadside, they advance. He only rolled a 1, so he just scooted up a little bit. But all 3 of those units can draw line of sight to the tank commander here. And I also positioned it so my tank ace and 3 of these drones are within range of this objective. So we have actually taken it from the Scout Sentinel, who counts as 3 models. So that is going to be at least 2 points for us for primaries for taking an objective we didn't hold before. If we could manage to kill him, if we kill him, he's on an objective, or she's on an objective as well. So if we kill any of the Scout Sentinels or this tank commander, we will get another point there for killing a unit that was on an objective. On the other side, these drones stayed still, and the Riptide shifted up, so he can fire here. And the reason they stayed still is I'm going to use Strike and Fade on him, so he's going to shoot and come right back to where he was to try to stay hidden. Yeah, and that's the plan. Although with with strategic reserves, the tanks can come in on the side, so I'm pretty much all of my stuff will be able to be shot. It's just going to be the choices the Cadians have to make on what targets to take. But with all that said and done, we'll go into the shooting phase. First up with our shooting is the Riptide. I did spend that CP on Strike and Fade, so he'll be able to move 6 inches, but he's firing everything into the the Scout Sentinels, excuse me. No marker lights on these, so hitting on 4s with 16 shots. After our Tal Sept reroll, we had 9 hits go through. It's pretty good, but we need 4s again to wound. Strength 6, toughness 6. So that is 7? No, 6. 6 at AP -2. Flat 2 damage.
So it's only going to give me 6 up saves with my 4 up armor. So here we go. 6s.
You saved 2, so that will 2 damage each. That will kill 1.
Kill 1.
Okay, and while we're here, I've got 6 dice in my hand plus 2. We'll fire our smart missiles in as well, hitting on 4s. Only 3, and then strength 5, so 5s. 1 wound at AP -1.
Okay, 5 up save.
Okay, it takes 1 damage. Okay, so we destroyed a Sentinel, and then I'm going to move him 6 inches back to where he was. Next up, we've got the Railgun. He's firing everything into the tank commander. Spin a CP on Smoke Launcher, so -1 to hit. He does have the effect of a marker light from our tank ace's buff, so he'll be hitting on what would have been a 3 with the marker light back to a 4, his base ballistic skill. But with our targeting array, we do have a free reroll. So I need a 4. Got it, with a 6. Okay, strength 14, T8, a 3, rerollable with Tal Sept. That's...
Come on, 1!
Okay, It does go through. Ignores invulnerables. It is D3 plus 6 for 7 plus 3 mortal wounds is 10 wounds. You have a 5 up, feel no pain.
Yeah, I didn't bring enough dice. Okay, so 10 5 up saves because of Knight of Piety.
Yes. Oh, that was really good.
Wow.
That was really good. You only take 4.
4 wounds.
That's unfortunate. Okay.
Wow.
Scott, so he's got 9 left.
9 left.
Next, we're going to go with the broadside, firing everything again into the tank commander. Spend another 2 CP on ablative plating, so reduces all incoming damage by 1. It would have only saved 1 wound since that's only a 1 damage gun, so it didn't spend it there, but firing everything in. These are going to hit on 5s because of the smoke launchers. And they both miss with 4s. Smoke saved them. I'm going to reroll on Tal Sept. Got it.
Oh,
1
no.
hit. These will be 3s to wound, but I don't have a reroll. Well, I've got a CP reroll. Okay, it doesn't matter. Got it. AP -5? It's going to be your invulnerable save.
Yeah, 5 up invuln. Here we go, because of Knight of Piety. Oh, that's only a 3.
Okay, so it's D3 plus 3. Okay, so 6 plus 1 mortal wound. So 7 more damage goes through.
Damage. And then that gets reduced by 1, so 6 damage.
Yeah, 6 damage.
All right, so 6 5 up saves. What I need right now. Not as good
this time. So 5 more.
Oof.
Down to 4. All right, and then I'll go ahead. Why not? We'll fire smart missiles in on camera because they're in my hand. Hey, wow. Okay, 4 with the smart missiles. But these are 5s to wound. 2 wounds, AP -1, which because of armored tracks is AP 0 basically. So 2 ups.
Oh no!
It does take 1. Do you save it on a 5 up?
Oh yeah. Nope.
Okay, so 1 more damage. Down to 3. Ooh, okay. Looks like the tank ace may have to do this for us. Finally, our tank ace is going to fire overcharging into him. So 3d3 shots. Well, that was good. What is that? 6-8 shots. Hitting on 4s. His base ballistic skill is 3. With the smoke launchers, these will go to 4s. That's okay. 5. That's reasonable. And then I'll reroll 1 with his innate reroll, and I'll save my Tal Sept reroll for the wound. I do. So it's strength 8. T8 would be a 4, but he adds 1 to wound rolls against vehicles. So these are 4 ups, and I'll reroll that, or 3 ups, excuse me. Okay, so that is 5 at AP -2, and they would be normally a flat 3 damage, but with ablative plating reduced to 2 damage each.
Okay, so these are 4-up armor saves. There we go.
This is big. Oh, he fails 2.
2.
Do you reroll 1 with the CP?
That's a 50-50 chance.
So right now this would be 4 damage. So you would need to make 2 5s to keep him alive on your Feel No Pain reroll.
So I am gonna reroll 1 of these because it would be huge. Yeah. I'm down to 1 command point after this.
Yeah, this is my last gun. If I don't kill him, he will live.
Oh!
He was there on a 6. Okay, so you got to do 4, 2 5s, and he's alive. 1 5.
Oh,
that is just enough. Does he explode? He doesn't explode, so you do have your stratagem where you can shoot upon death if they don't explode. Let's see if we want to do that. Since she didn't explode, last CP spent for Vengeful Salute, firing the Relic Battle Cannon into this guy up here. The Heavy Bolter will actually go into this guy, but let's do... it's D3 plus 6 shots, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of shots with the Gatekeeper here.
Okay, so only 7.
7 shots. Oh,
but it's still enough to kill him.
Now, what Vengeful Salute does, it gives me a 5-up... It gives me a ballistic skill of 5. Mm-hmm. But because turret weapon, it's going to hit on 4s. Yep. Here we go.
That's good.
That was good. I only missed with 3.
Okay. And strength higher than 7, so 3s. So 3 6-up saves, so he won't die. But 3 6s. Would like to save at least one of these. We do save 1. Okay, so we take 6 damage on this guy. You want to fire your bolter in here?
Yep, heavy bolter's hitting on 5s.
1 hit.
And just hoping to pop a drone.
So yeah, T5.
Yep.
4 up. Okay, it does kill a drone, actually.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay, so damage was done. 6 wounds here, but we blew up the Warlord, so that's always nice. So we're going to get 3 points for primaries. We're not going to score any of our secondaries, but we killed a unit that was on an objective, and we control an objective we didn't control at the beginning of the turn. So right now it is 17 points for the Cadian 707th and 3 points for Tal Sept Su'nars as we go to battle round 2. The tank commander exploded, but there's a new tank commander that will be coming onto the battlefield most likely this turn. And the new orders are storm hostile objective. That's going to be super easy. If they kill 2 drones on the objective near the scout sentinel, then that one's achieved. Overwhelming firepower. This is only an incursion level mission, so they only have to kill 2 units with shooting, also very achievable, and then bring it down. The tanks, the hammerheads, and the riptide all have 14 wounds, so I did nominate the riptide for that, so it'll be a little bit tougher to kill for that one. But let's see the movement. Our tank commander was here and was destroyed, but her sidekick, or her assistant tank commander, has rolled up with the Punisher cannon in escort. And they've moved in from strategic reserves. So yeah, this was what we were talking about at the beginning. If you move out to be able to shoot something, you will be exposed. So all of my stuff in this corner is now yeah, in trouble. Demolisher cannon could destroy either one of the hammerheads pretty easily. He's hanging out. Literally, if 2 of these drones die, or if this gets killed and 1 drone, he will control that objective for storm hostile objective and the primary. And over here, the Vanquisher cannon, he came in from strategic reserve, and he does just have line of fire onto this tank up here. So both hammerheads are in jeopardy, to say the least, right now. But yeah, and still controlling, not controlling this objective anymore, but still holding 3 for primaries. So 15 points were already scored for primaries for holding this objective, the one over there with that 1 scout sentinel, and then back home with the basilisk. So things are looking good for the Cadians as we go into the shooting phase. We're starting off with the smaller stuff with the scout sentinel firing into the drones. Although this is like kind of piddly, but this is important. If 2 of those drones die, this is 7 points effectively, because you'll get 2 points for the primaries for taking control of an objective I held at the beginning of the battle round, and you'll get storm hostile objective for a secondary. So this is pretty big. 4 shots from the scout sentinel to be the hero.
Here we go. Hitting on 4s. Ooh.
Okay, that's 3.
Wounding on 3s. Strength 6.
Ooh, okay.
Oh no.
4 up, invulnerable, which I fail. How much damage is it?
1.
Okay, so 1 shield drone has taken a damage. Since the sentinel kind of whiffed, and this was kind of the big deal. If he would have done it, then the basilisk could have done something else. But right now, the basilisk is going to fire in to try to clear these guys off.
D6 plus 3 shots.
4. Do you want to re-roll it?
Nope. I got 1 CP. I got to
Oh
save.
yeah, that's true. Just 1.
So this will be disappointing. Hitting on 5s.
Yeah,
I
out of
can't
line of
see.
sight. Oh, but 3 hits. That was big. These will be 2s to wound. Casualties. It's magnetic. It's fine. All right.
Okay.
So 3 wounds.
3
3.
wounds.
So I got to do these because it's 2 damage. So I'm going to do 2 4s on the shield drones. Okay, the shield drones are dead. And then what's the AP on it?
AP minus 3.
Okay, so another drone. So all 3. We'll leave the marker drone alive. And that, yeah, that's it. Next up, Vanquisher cannon. He is splitting fire because the multi-meltas are out of range of the hammerhead. So they're going into the Riptide. And then the Vanquisher up here onto the rooftop. Starting with the multi-meltas into the Riptide.
4 shots, not taking the roof off of the building. Hitting on 4s.
That's pretty good.
That was phenomenal.
It's about as good as it gets right there.
Strength 8.
T7.
T7, so 3s. That was abysmal.
Less is good. Yeah. Okay, and it's AP a
Minus
million. 4 up invulnerables. Do I want to spend my CP to save your protocol? Because this would be D6 though at this range. You're not in half range, right?
I'm not in half range now. I'm 28-inch range with my weapon.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not half
Not in
range.
half range currently. Do I save your protocol? That would force an... I've got plenty of CP. I'm going to spend a CP, save your protocol. Although I get to make the save. It's after a failed save. So I get to try to save, I guess. Which I save anyway. Okay, so I don't have to spend the CP. I'll double check the wording on that stratagem, but I'm pretty sure it says after a failed save, you do it. So either I'm going to spend a CP to kill a drone or just make that save. We'll see. And then now the big gun up here is going to do 8 damage.
Yeah. First we'll do last cannon.
Oh yeah, he's got a lance.
Hitting on 4. Wounding
Hits.
on a 3. Nope,
Off the table.
Oh god, off the table. I'm going to roll into the table now. Yay!
It does wound. Okay, AP minus 3 on that
Yeah.
scan? Okay, so he has a 6 up. I'm not going to reroll that, but that's D6. Need a 1 here. Got a 5. Okay, so he's down to 3 wounds. Things aren't looking good here. 3 wounds left with a Vanquisher cannon.
Vanquisher cannon. Hitting on 3s. No, I get no rerolls unless I do a command reroll.
That's a hit.
What's ahead? Strength a lot.
Many. It's got to be 14 at least.
Vanquisher is 14.
Yeah, so it's a 2 because they're T7.
Anything but a anything but a 1.
Okay, and then AP minus a billion. I think you're minimum 3 for sure. So
it's minimum 7 damage.
So does he explode?
No.
Does not explode. Okay,
Good.
So you have destroyed the railgun hammerhead. Next, we have the other tank commander with his demolisher cannon firing everything into my tank ace. But it's D6 shots with the demolisher cannon, so Still pretty swingy.
Come on, 6 for the Emperor. That's
5. That's real good.
Very acceptable. Hitting on 3s because turret weapon.
That's good. 4. Yep. Strength a lot.
Strength 10, so winning on 3s.
That is 3 wounds at AP -3.
AP -3, so you get your 6 ups.
Okay, I just need 3 6s. That's reasonable, right?
Yeah,
that's something that you do that. Roll 3 6s all the time. Okay, no 6s. So that's D3 plus 3 each. So as long as that's dead.
2, 4, 6 plus 9.
Yeah, that's enough. Does he
15.
explode? He
explodes.
So yeah, I don't think the Sentinel's in range. We'll measure this out. Yeah. I think it's 6 inches.
Oh, I'm in range of it. Okay. 6 inches, yeah.
So it looks like we're going to have some damage done here. So it's D6 mortal wounds. So the drone is, annihilated. I will note, he is just outside of 6. I measured that perfectly when I moved, and that was on purpose. But the Scout Sentinel is in. But they have 7 wounds now, so I can't even kill it. But let's see if we can do 6. 5? All right, down to 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Okay, that's reasonable. All right, but both the hammerheads have been eliminated, and there's still a Punisher cannon eyeing up a broadside. Next on the list is the broadside. Everything from the Punisher Leman Russ into him. Flamers are in range and everything, so blast off. This is the Punisher Gatling cannon right here.
Hitting on 3s because of turret.
Mm-hmm. Looking good. A lot of 6s in there so far. So we've got 13 hits. Strength 6, T5 on the broadside, so these will be 3s to wound. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, so we are at 8 wounds.
Perfect. That's
-1 damage.
That's how many dice I have in my pocket. Although we do have a shield drone. These are 2 damage each?
1.
1 damage each. Okay. Yeah. So let's do them 2 at a time on the shield drone. He's dead. I haven't spent a CP yet. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll one of those. Okay, so he is alive. Now we got to do him 1 at a time on force. Okay, now he's dead. All right, and then 5 AP -1. I have a 2-up armor save, so 3 ups.
That's pretty good.
Take 1. Okay.
Yeah.
1 damage dealt so far. Then we've got some more stuff.
2 heavy flamers because of my
extended range.
My heirloom weapon, so 3 shots. Strength 5, so 4s.
2 4s AP.
1 -1, 1 damage.
3s. All right, he's taken 2 wounds.
And then the last thing I got's a heavy bolter hitting on 4s. Ooh, only 1 hit, wounding on a 4. Oh, behind the building. There we go.
No wound. Okay, so he took 2 damage, and the drone is dead. At the end of the Cadians. Turn 2, things are looking pretty grim for the Tau, to be fair. Our broadside survived, and that was really my goal this time. I was like, the 2 tanks are almost dead for sure. The only hope I had was if the Demolisher Cannon rolled like a 1 for number of shots. However, for the Cadians, they scored... So they scored 15 primaries for holding objectives. They get 3 more primary points for taking an objective that was held by the Tau and killing 2 units, technically, that were there on that. Then they got 5 points for Storm Hostile Objective for secondaries, taking this objective from me, and 5 points for Overwhelming Firepower. Destroyed 2 units. Both hammerheads were destroyed with shooting, so they score that. So that's 10 for secondaries, 18 for primaries. Which brings them to a total of 45 points at the end of Battle Round 2. That's pretty good scoring. And the Tau, still, never giving up, never surrendering unless, it's for the greater good, have 3 points. So we'll draw some objectives and see what a heavy rail rifle broadside, a Riptide with 4 gun drones, and a high-yield missile pod broadside coming out of strategic reserves can do to 3 Leman Russ battle tanks and 2 Scout Sentinels and a Basilisk. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine here. The Tau command structure is in disarray as the tank has been eliminated. Behind enemy lines, we did hold on to that, thinking we could deep strike the drones in and then move our other broadside into the zone for the deployment zone of the Cadians to get this in a future turn. However, I spent a CP to ditch Battlefield Supremacy, which I had held on to, and got Tempting Target. So with this one, now I need to deep strike my drones onto the objective near the Vanquisher Lehman Russ. So now behind enemy lines is no good. But I did also get Storm Hostile Objective. So if I can get onto the objective held by the Scout Sentinel near the Vanquisher, I could get 10 points this turn for primaries. Let's see what we got. Su'nars pressing forward, dire circumstances, but we have a slight plan. So we advanced our broadside up here. If I can kill this Sentinel, that gives me a couple points for objective, or for the primary objective, and denies a 5 primary points for the Cadians. Over here, we've taken the boost overcharge, so I'm going to move 2d6 inches in the Riptide's charge phase. So the idea is we measured out if I can roll a 5, and if I kill this guy with my shooting, then I'll be able to secure this objective here. That's the one I need for 10 points. Then over here, moving along, the broadside came in. He is right on the edge of the deployment zone, so on the next turn he can move into the Cadian deployment zone, and the drones are already in the deployment zone of the Cadians. So they're going to fire in. Ideally, what's going to happen is they're going to charge into this guy. He's going to try to charge too, but he's more than 9 because I wanted to keep him. He needs to be alive for me to score the point. So he's kind of hiding right here for this turn. But we'll see. If he can make the charge, then sure, we'll go for it. But that's the plan. So we have a play for our 15 secondary points available. And if I can kill this guy, if I can kill that guy, and actually he's worth 5 models for objective, so I can't take their home objective, but I can prevent them from scoring 10 or 15 on primaries next turn. I can hold them down to just 5 primary points. That would be the best thing we can do. So that's the plan. We'll see how it unfolds. The Riptide is going to set the tempo for the remainder of this game for the Tau. So he's going big. We're splitting fire, because why wouldn't you? He's firing his main gun into the Scout Sentinel here. It'll be 12 shots into him, hitting on 3s because of the marker light that I did get. And he's firing his smart missiles into this Scout Sentinel. So the reason I'm doing it this way, because, I mean, theoretically, he's firing his railgun, should be able to kill this. But if he can take out both Scout Sentinels, that frees him up to shoot one of these tanks. Because the reality is, even if I kill the Scout Sentinels, get on this objective, get my 10 points, with 3 Lehman Russes cruising the battlefield, I'm just going to die, probably in the next battle round. So I need to be able to, if not kill one of these, maybe cripple it, so you have to spend CP to buff it or something like that. So that's the plan. So he's going to split fire. 12 shots, we're going to start there. Hitting on 3s into the Scout Sentinel. Alright, I'm not going to spend my Tau Sept reroll. I'm going to sit with these. These are strength 6, so wounding on 4s.
Yep.
Alright, this is 5. You have how many wounds left?
I have 6.
You have 6 wounds left. I'm going to spend my Tau Sept reroll. Okay, so still just 5 at AP minus 2.
6 up.
I need
save.
3 of these.
I fail all of them.
Okay, so he does die. Does he explode?
Oops.
I mean, he does.
That's not my explode roll.
But that is. Okay, so I'm not sure what the range is on it. We'll measure that out and see what happens. Step 1, complete. Step 2, I guess to note, the explosion's only 3 inches, so no damage was done in the explosion. Smart missiles over here. He can actually see it, so these are hitting on 4s. Oh, that's good. 5.
Oh.
But these are 5 swoons. So this is, I mean, obviously a big long shot. I did spend my Tau Sept reroll. So that is 2. That's enough. AP minus 1.
5 up save.
Oh my gosh. Do you CP one of those? Okay. Goal achieved. Way to go, Riptide. Way to go. With the Riptides. Excellent shooting. I was debating which one of these tanks do I shoot with the heavy rail rifle. The Punisher is really probably the bigger threat, maybe to both units. I don't know. But I decided I'm going to shoot the Demolisher, because even if he only gets 1 shot through, I mean, that's a chance to kill the Riptide. He'll at least get, 3-up saves against the shots coming through from this. But, I mean, yeah. So smoke launchers on this guy again. So I'm going to be hitting on 5s with my 2 rail rifle shots. Double 6s for the greater good. Okay, double 2s, not exactly what I wanted. We'll Tau Sept reroll. Okay, so triple 2s, no rail rifle shots. I'll fire the smart missiles in off camera. Last up is the broadside. He's firing everything into the Basilisk. The drones over here they fired in did no damage. So we're going to start with the high yield missile pod, hitting on 4s. That's 4. That's statistically average. Strength 7, toughness 7. So 4s again. So 3 at AP minus 2.
5-up saves. I make 1, fell 2.
Okay. That's
Damage?
4 damage.
Oof.
First up in our charge phase, the big thing. So he's not actually charging, but with his boost that he took, he can move 2d6 inches. I need a 5, and I can't reroll this because it's not actually a charge. Okay, 9. That's really good. He'll be able to jump over and get on this objective. That'll give us Storm Hostile Objective. So that's good. Next, we're going to do some charging back here. These drones are going to fly into this guy. Do you want to Overwatch?
Nope.
Okay. Need a 9 again. Did not get it. I want to CP reroll it. I've got a lot of CP.
Ooh.
It's just 1 short. Okay. And then he actually needs an 11, but I want to try it anyway. Do you want to Overwatch?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, another 8. Okay. So no charges made, but we did move 9 inches over here, so we did score Storm Hostile Objective. With the Hammerhead claiming this objective, I do get 10 points for secondaries. I got a Tempting Target and Storm Hostile Objective. I also get 3 points for primaries for taking an objective that was held by my opponent and killing a unit that was holding an objective, which I got. I actually killed 2 units. I killed that Scout Sentinel and this one over here. So with that, it's 45-16 in favor of the Cadians. But if everything totally misses all its rolls and everything goes in an extremely swingy way, I'll be fine. And I'll get some good objectives, and the Cadians won't get good objectives, possibly. So, anything can happen. Most likely what's going to happen is that's going to be destroyed. The other broadside is going to get destroyed. Probably the drones will get destroyed. The Riptide will probably live, honestly, because I've got some, stratagems and things to keep it alive. But, yeah, it'll be iffy. But realistically, my footprint will be down to like 1 or 2 units maybe at the next turn. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to play it out and see what happens. On to battle round 3. New orders have been issued by the new tank commander. Hold the line. Keep the Tau out of their deployment zone, which I have my broadside and some drones back there, so those guys will need removed if they want to get that. Area denial. Be wholly within 9. Have a unit wholly within 9 inches of the center of the battlefield, and no enemy units within that range. So the Tau do not have a presence in the middle, but neither do the Cadians. That'll be tough for them to get this turn. And then still holding on to bring it down, kill the Riptide. Let's see what they can do. The Cadians have moved. Basilisk shifted forward a little bit just so it has actual line of sight to some, better targets. Tank commander shifted onto this objective. So next turn it will be able to wholly get wholly within 9 inches of the center of the battlefield. That objective is almost perfectly in the center. The Punisher. So this guy got ordered full throttle,
yep.
Correct? So he got to move a little bit further. He's on this objective, eyeing up our poor innocent broadside.
Innocent.
And then the Vanquisher shifted down. So he actually controls that objective because he's worth 5 models. So that's 2 points immediately on primaries for that. And you did get 5 points for primaries for just holding this. So 7 points for primaries here for the Cadians in battle round 3. But yeah, next, let's see if anybody can survive over here. Starting it off, we do have the Punisher tank firing everything into the broadside. We'll see what happens. 20 shots.
20 shots, hitting on 3s.
That was 16 hits, looking for 4s to win. No, 3s. Yes,
yep.
6.
Strength 6 versus T5. Ooh.
Still really good. good.
Wow, yeah, that was good. So that's 11.
11. All right, I've got 8 right here. 8 3-ups. Okay, I fail 2 so far, and I need to roll 3 more. Okay, so I fail a total of 3. So he's alive on 3 wounds. So I want to... These are only 1 damage.
Yep.
All right, he's alive on 3 wounds. I'll save the reroll for maybe the heavy bolter.
Okay, heavy bolter. Hitting on 4s.
Oh, that's
Everything
good.
hits.
That's good.
Wounding on 4. Ooh.
That's good for me. This is AP -2, so...
Or -1.
-1. Okay, so 3 up again. I will re-roll that. And still fail. Okay, so he's down. He's lost 4 now. He lost 3 and 2 more. He's down to 1 wound. Yep. So the flamers.
2d6 flamer shots, 6 shots.
6 shots.
All right. Wounding on 4s.
1.
Wow.
AP -1. So a 3 up or death. He's alive on 1 wound.
You've got to be kidding me. I'll go ahead and tell you right now. We're going to throw the basilisk in.
Yeah, basilisk.
We can't tolerate this defiance.
He's alive. He will survive everything you can throw at him. But you do have line of sight to him now, I believe. Yeah, down the main corridor. So hitting on 4s. Well, yeah.
D6 plus 3.
So 6 shots.
That was pretty good. Hitting on 4s now.
Okay, that's 3.
3.
Wounding on 2s.
Ooh.
2 AP.
-3.
So 5s. 2 5s. I can make 2 5s.
You could do this,
2 5s. For the greater good. Ah, okay.
Oh!
I spent my reroll already, so he crumples down to the ground and dies. Thanks to Arcs of Omen, you're about to see something never before recorded. A demolisher cannon from a tank commander is firing into 4 tactical drones. It seems ridiculous, but we were talking about off camera. If this unit is wiped out, and if the broadside is wiped out, I can't score behind enemy lines. You get, defend, hold the line. So that's 10 points. So that's a big deal. This is definitely, strategically, definitely the right thing to do. It's just kind of funny that you're firing a demolisher cannon into some drones. But here we go, D6 shots. So there's a chance they survive if you roll like a 1 right here. But you rolled a 5, so that's not looking good. Not looking good.
Hitting on 3.
But yeah, you got to hit. Still got to hit.
And we've seen me roll a hit bad before. Okay, so we're going to strength 10.
10. These are 4s to win.
4. Wait.
What? Yeah.
You had me. I was like,
Okay.
Oh, I failed 1.
Okay. There is... there's 1 shield drone in here. All right, so just 3 4s. Just 3 4s. I have spent my reroll already.
Okay.
But for the greater good, 3 consecutive 4s. Okay, never mind. So the shield drone is dead, and then it's -3.
-3.
Okay, so the 2 gun drones are dead. All right, so there is now a marker drone is about to be bathed in promethium.
Yep, here we go. Last cannon first.
Oh, shooting the last cannon, yeah.
It hits. It wounds.
AP -3.
-3.
It's dead. Okay,
it's dead.
So you wipe the squad. So I can't get behind enemy lines anymore. And, nice shooting. See, that's why he's the tank commander. If this would have been a normal Lehman Russ, they probably would have shot at the Riptide for glory, instead of strategic importance. That's what sets him aside. That's if you want to move up in the ranks of Imperial Guard, fire your demolisher cannon at drones. And last up for the shooting, Vanquisher firing, like I was just joking off camera, out of his exhaust into the broadside here. All right, so
we're gonna start out with multi-meltas because I got to get rid of the shield
drone. Yep.
So here we go. 4 shots hitting on 4s. Oh no.
2 hits.
Okay. Wounding on probably 3s actually. Yeah. T5.
T5. Okay, so I need 1 4. Come on, for the greater good. Oh
my
survives.
God! This is literally the worst case scenario. Last cannon.
Last cannon. It hits. It wounds. Another 4 for the greater good. Yeah.
No! I've already dedicated the shots. I can't take it back. Here's a Vanquisher cannon.
Vanquisher to kill a drone.
To kill a shield drone.
I could choose to take it on the broadside. It just wouldn't make any sense.
If you could do that. It hits.
It hits. Needs a 2.
Yeah. Strength 14.
Okay, so
can't take an invuln save.
I could choose to take it on the broadside, but I'm going to take it on the drone, and the drone dies. The broadside is alive. Because the broadside lived, you don't get the Cadians don't get hold the line, so I do prevent the Cadians from scoring any secondaries. So they only got 7 points, 5 for the primaries for holding their home objective, and then 2 points for taking that objective that was held by the Tau. That brings it to 52 to, I think I have 16, maybe, something like that. So 52 to 16, I've got 3 units left, 6 models. We should be fine heading into Tau turn 3. We'll just see. So at this point, the Tau, they're not hoping to win. We just want to inflict some losses as we, retreat to regroup and take the city back from the Cadians in the future. New objectives. So behind enemy lines, we had a long shot for this. If I, again, boosted the movement of the Riptide in the charge phase, advance, and try to get into the deployment zone, it would have been a pretty big long shot. But then I drew no retreat, no surrender. So I can't move off of an objective that I was holding, or that I was within range of. So not even controlling, just within range of. So the Riptide can't move if I want to get that. But if I do leave him there, I'm basically guaranteed this, because even if my drones would need a morale check, I could spend 2 CP to auto pass. And then I drew Investigate Site, which isn't terrible, because I would be within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield, with the Riptide doing an action, which would stop the Cadians from getting area denial, or at least hinder them. But if a unit has 5 models, or has fewer than 5 models, you only get 2 points instead of 5 points. So I'd only get 2 points for that. So I ditched it and pulled Grind Them Down. I got to kill more units than the Cadians. That's pretty much impossible at this point. So yeah, let's see if we can scrape together a few points before the end of this. Su'nars has moved. The Riptide shifted. He's still within range of the objective, but he's also now within 9 inches of the center of the battlefield. So if they want to get secure, what is it? Area denial.
Area denial. Yep.
You will have to kill the Riptide. The drones advanced forward, so they're up there helping out the Riptide. Just basically extra wounds with Savior protocols. And then the broadside kicked the fence down. He jumped in, so he is wholly within the deployment zone of the Cadians. And I actually rolled the advance roll, and then I was like, I don't need to do that. And since you play with your friends, they're nice. Cadian Sergeant Steel allowed me to just undo that the advance roll, because I didn't need to advance. And now, since I haven't rolled in advance, I can actually charge the Basilisk if I would need to. But that's it. Yeah, I've got 3 units, 6 models, and we're gonna kill this. We're gonna kill that Basilisk. We fired our drones into the Vanquisher Leman Russ off camera. No damage was done. But now the important stuff. Broadside into this Basilisk, hitting on 4s. That was not good. In fact, bad would be a way to describe it. I only got 3. I am going to go ahead and spend my Tau Sept reroll. Okay, 50% now. Wounding on 4s. I got 3 wounds. No, I didn't. I got 2 wounds through. AP -2.
Okay, AP -2.
Yes.
Oh, 5-up save. I failed both.
That's 4 damage. He's got 2 wounds left, and I'm going to fire 8 smart missiles in, also hitting on 4s. Only 2. Ugh. And then 5s. 1 at AP -1. Got a 5, so he saves.
Got it.
Okay, so 2 wounds left on there. We're going to go to the Riptide. I did give him his boosted Feel No Pain thingy. So he's going to have 12 shots. We're going to fire everything from him also into the Basilisk.
It's so dead.
Hitting on 4s. That was better. That was better. We're going to reroll one of these because why not? Okay. And yeah, that's 1 more in there. Okay, and these are 5s though, because this is only strength 6. This is an anti-infantry gun. We got 4. AP -1. Yeah, AP -1, 2 damage.
Okay, 4-up saves.
You have a CP. You could save him.
Nope.
Okay. Does he explode?
No.
3. Okay. Maybe I should have left him alive and let the broadside charge to get on that objective. But here we are. But we've won. So that was our goal. Kill the Basilisk. Good game. Tau with the victory. Hooray. Hooray! After achieving the tactical victory of blowing up the basilisk, the Riptide, we're surrounded. There's tanks all around us. That was our exit. You know, we had to take him out so we could retreat. But the Riptide, these drones are artificial intelligence. They're basically alive. They have feelings, personality. The Riptide pilot is not abandoning his drones. He's charging the Vanquisher to give the broadside an opportunity to escape and live to fight another day for the greater good. So, with that, there will be some Overwatch here.
Yep. So here we go. Multi-Meltas first, hitting on 6s.
Nothing.
This is literally, by the way, the worst vehicle I have to fire Overwatch with, because it only has 6 total shots.
Yeah.
All right. The Las Cannon.
Oh.
Ooh. Wounds on 3.
It does wound.
It does wound -3.
It's 4 up invulnerable, which I passed.
Oh.
And then the Vanquisher.
For the Emperor. Come on.
Ooh, you could re-roll it with a CP.
Nah, that was pretty close, though.
All right, so he gets, well, he doesn't get in, but I don't die yet, at least. I'll roll this. I don't know what I need, probably like a 5. That's a
you're
4.
In. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, let's mix it up.
Easily.
I've got the CP. Okay, so he's in with a 4. We'll come back as I crush a Leman Russ in combat. The Riptide has engaged in combat. I know it puts me outside of, you know, the center, but it's over. So we're just doing this for fun. So he gets 6 attacks on a sub profile, hits on 5s. It is strength 7, AP -2, 2 damage with Riptide Fists. I hit twice. I'm going to spend a Tal Sept reroll and a CP reroll. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because I need saves. But okay, so 2 get through. Strength 7, I need 5s again. Oh, AP -2.
With 4 up saves, I make 1 fell 1.
2 damage. Feel the fury of my Riptide Fist.
What was that? Is that the end of your fighting?
That's the end of my fighting.
Okay, I'm going to spend 1 command point on Crush them. So, in the new Codex, you can now use it in your opponent's fight phase if you want to. And so I'm going to, and I now hit on 4s. Because this is the only one without the armored keyword. Otherwise, you would hit on 3s.
Yeah.
So, 6 attacks.
6 attacks on 4s.
Hitting on 4s, and 6s deal a mortal wound. Wait, is that to hit or to... We'll get there.
We'll get there.
All right.
So you got 2.
2 hits.
That's what I did. That's a 5.
5 and a
6.
6.
So there's probably a mortal wound.
An unmodified wound roll of 6 is a mortal wound. So 1 mortal wound.
And then, what's the AP?
Nothing.
Okay, so 2 up armor saves. Which I passed with a double 6.
What?
Just to show you. That means you only did 1 wound to me with the mortal wound. I did 2 to you. So the Riptide wins combat. Yeah.
Wow.
At the end of Su'nars' turn, we do score 5 points for no retreat, no surrender, because we are still on that objective. And we did get 2 points for killing a unit that was on an objective. That brings Su'nars' total to 23. At the end of battle round 3, the Cadians are sitting at 52. So, yeah, this is where the Su'nars Sept retreats. So our Riptide charged in to tie up the Vanquisher so that our broadside could escape. He's a little bit slower, so he needed that. Maybe the Riptide will be able to jetpack and fly up into the air later and save himself with his drones once the Riptide or once the broadside is clear of the battlefield. But the armored might of the Cadian forces were too much for the Tal today, and they have taken the battlefield. So, what do you think?
Woo!
Yeah. That was, and yeah, we talked about, we discussed it. This was, I mean, from the get-go, like the design of this scenario was not, this is how I thought it would go. One of us would jump out to a huge lead. Basically, whoever got to shoot the other person first. And, I mean, you played it well. And it worked perfectly. Like, you baited me out with your tank commander, so I brought all my stuff out to kill it. My only real hope with your ability to put all your stuff into strategic reserve was I needed to kill something so that when they came in, you wouldn't be at full strength. Because even if I wouldn't have moved out and tried to kill the tank commander, with your other units coming in from strategic reserve, you still would have been able to shoot me in my deployment zone. So I needed to try to inflict some casualties where I could. Unfortunately, that exposed all of my stuff to more firepower, and you took them out. And that's pretty much what I thought would happen. One of us would get that early advantage, and it's hard to overcome in a battle like this with no troops and stuff.
It is very challenging, especially I got real fortunate too with having the scout sentinels and being able to have that real early game.
Yep.
And the mission we were playing allowed me to score turn one.
Yep.
Otherwise, I think things would have played.
Yeah.
We both would have played differently, but we had turn one primary scoring option. And then that's the first time ever too. You all have seen me on this channel many times try to use strategic reserves, and it goes terribly wrong most of the time. But I tried it this time, and because of the units I put in strategic reserves, it worked out to my advantage really well. And so I was able to come in and basically do these surgical strikes.
Yeah. Yeah, with the hammer and anvil deployment, we actually selected this mission and the objective, mission and the deployment zone. We normally do it pretty much randomly. We just draw them out of the deck, and if they don't make sense, we'll throw them out and maybe draw something new. But this one we picked it specifically because we knew this was like kind of a unique mission, and we didn't want it to be something weird that would be complicated or unscorable. And we thought it would be cool with the hammer and anvil because we did have all these. I mean, looking through here, you can't see the other deployment zone with that. If we would have done, some of the other ones, you have these longer lines of fire across the battlefield. We wanted to avoid that. But that did leave open the strategic reserves coming in on the sides, having the angles, back deeper into the deployment zones. But yeah, I thought it went pretty much, like I said, exactly how I thought. You did get your first turn secondary objectives. Like, there are not 3 objectives in the deck better for these lists to score. And yeah, looking back, obviously, the card draw is random, but like I actually outscored you on a secondaries in this. You scored 10 in battle rounds 2 and 3, and I scored 15. And that's part of what makes Tempest of War so interesting is like the variety you get with those draws. But I would have only been down 15 points if you scored 0 in battle round 1 on secondaries, just like I did. Obviously that's, not necessarily a thing, but that gave you that early advantage. And that really hurt me because with your big lead early, like I had to be more aggressive and press up because I needed to get you off of objectives so you would stop scoring primaries. Because once you get those 15 secondary points, if you can score 10 or 15 on primaries the rest of the game, like I just can't catch up. So I had to get aggressive, move up the battlefield. But it was cool. I thought it was a lot of fun bringing like weird lists because like that's the first game I think I've ever played of Warhammer where I don't have any troops on the battlefield. Like any edition I've ever played.
I think for me too, this is actually literally my first game playing my Cadian army in nearly a decade where I didn't bring infantry.
Yeah.
So, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
It was so much fun to try it out. It was a blast to play against an army that also didn't have infantry. I love what Arcs of Omen is opening up for us to do.
Oh my gosh, Arcs of Omen is like the greatest thing to happen to the game in a long time, in my opinion. Just because you can make these kind of cool lists and do unique things. Like I said, like I've never brought tactical drones in 9th edition because why would you ordinarily? But they provided, something like none of the gun drones actually died, but they were there to absorb wounds from him with Savior protocols, I had the ability to deep strike them in to get into backfields and things like that. So that was cool to use those, but I had fun. Did you have fun? Sweet. That's awesome. Yeah. That's what we're here to do. It was good stuff. I killed some stuff. I killed a tank, some scout sentinels, a basilisk.
Technically, at the end of the game, we both only have 3 units on the table.
That's true. Yeah, we're equal on units. That is true. Yeah. And to be fair, with the Savior protocols, his counterfire defense system, and his 5-up Field of Pain, he would be very difficult to shift even going forward. Obviously, the broadside is 8 wounds. You can kill him pretty easily. And with the Demolisher Cannon and the Vanquisher Cannon firing in, realistically, he's not going to survive 2 more turns, but Riptides are very resilient. I've never ran, and again, another thing, I've never ran the counterfire defense system. That's, super good. You reduce all attacks from a weapon to 1 damage, so I could do that against your Demolisher Cannon. Each shot it does is 1 1 damage.
I would cry.
Yeah, and then it has a 5-up Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
That'd be, yeah.
The Riptide even had a building fall on it this game.
Yes, that's true.
It still took no wounds.
This collapsed onto it. It didn't take any damage. He's feeling very confident. He did take a wound, one more wound at the end in combat there.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But, I didn't roll my 5-up Feel No Pain. So he may not have even taken it.
He may not have taken it.
But yeah, that was it. That was the good stuff. Cadian Sergeant Steel. Check him out on Instagram and the YouTubes. I'll put some links down in the video description. If you haven't seen them yet, you need to check it out because, I mean, look at these things.
Yeah, I have new painting tutorials going up
here
soon.
Yeah.
And,
learn how to paint beautiful Cadian tanks like this. Oh my gosh. And what's this Pask? That's the old Pask
That's
model?
the original Knight Commander Pask model.
Yeah.
No
It's
longer
an old
available.
Metal Boy, and you get the cool upgrade Aquila radar dish thingy. Oh, nice. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Check him out for more images and some battle reports. There's even a battle report with me over there on his channel if you're interested in that. But yeah, awesome. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all the cool YouTube stuff, and have fun.